This is Mac OS Ken.
Gearing up for Apple earnings, Foxconn's big news pretty much misses Apple, and a bit of Apple TV Plus talk. It is Thursday, the 31st of July, 2025. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSCan. You know, I think Wedbush analyst Daniel Ives may be on the verge of becoming an Apple bear. Certainly his excitement seems to be waning. Can't really blame him for that. Apple stands to take it from the DOJ on two sides, the Google case and the case against Apple itself. There's the occasional bullying from the White House, and there's a sort of ho-humness around Apple hardware. To be clear, he's not expecting anything bad from today's June quarter earnings call. A piece from Apple 3.0 had pieces of notes from a few analysts ahead of this afternoon's confab, including Mr. Ives. He's expecting stable iPhone performance for the June quarter, as well as a strong services number that shows upside. In this note, he says the June Q is just the appetizer for the main event, which is the launch of iPhone 17 in September, as the street will be laser-focused on the outlook and demand commentary from Apple CEO Tim Cook on the call. I say in this note because there was another that was not nearly as upbeat sounding. Apple 3.0 had part of another note from Ives, wherein he said, "It's time for change in Cupertino, and Cook and Company need to get off the treadmill and start to make some significant headway on Apple's AI strategy." Pulling parts from that note, the elephant in the room continues to be Apple's AI growth strategy, which right now is invisible, while the rest of the tech world is laser-focused on monetizing the biggest tech theme in 40 years, the AI revolution. He goes on to say it's becoming crystal clear that any innovation around AI at Apple is not coming from inside the walls of Apple Park. Importantly for the street, we estimate the AI monetization strategy at Apple could be worth up to $75 per share, and time is ticking for Cook to figure this out. It would be neat if he could say how AI could or would add $75 per share, but sure. What he wants is for Apple to buy Perplexity AI. It's an idea he's floated before and will apparently keep floating. Now the part where he gets scary or beary. We believe Cook will be CEO of Apple for at least another 5 years, but right now, between the tariff iPhone quagmire, Trump tension around India supply chain, and missing the AI foundational strategy, this chapter will define Cook's legacy. It's time for Cook and Cupertino to face the new reality of this quickly morphing AI-driven tech landscape, because if they do not change, it will be a historic strategic black eye for Apple, in our view. Dude. Mr. Ives has an outperform rating on Apple shares. His price target on the shares remains $270. Circling back to the Apple 3.0 roundup, there actually wasn't much to go around. Evercore analyst Amit Daryanani thinks the Cupertino company is well positioned to report in-line to modest upside in the June quarter, with continued modest improvements in China. Tariffs will have cost Apple, but Apple warned about that on the last call, so that's baked in as far as he's concerned. Like Mr. Ives, Daryanani says investors will likely focus on the September quarter guide, with expectations for a quarter-on-quarter step down in gross margins, given the tariff impact will be larger compared to the June quarter. Other uncertainty in the September guidance: will buying ahead of possible price hikes in the June quarter dent sales expectations for this quarter? And how will Apple guide for services after a full quarter of the Epic anti-steering ruling? Mr. Daryanani has an outperform rating on Apple shares. His price target on the shares is $250. Above Avalon's Neil Seibert thinks Apple's June quarter results should be relatively fine. That is a quote. He says he expects revenue growth to be on par with revenue growth from the March quarter, though margins may get dinged a little by tariffs. While he doesn't seem certain that investors should ignore the June numbers, he does seem certain they will, thanks to big news hitting soon. That includes whether Google can keep paying Apple billions of dollars for default search placement. That decision's expected in August. Additionally, there is the next round of iPhones. Those are expected in about 7 weeks. Zooming out a bit, a chart on Yahoo Finance has a total of just under 30 Apple following analysts expecting earnings per share for the June quarter of $1.43 on revenue of $89.2 billion. For the September quarter, they're looking for earnings per share of $1.66 on revenue of $97.9 billion. So much anticipation, one could simply burst. Or one could chill and wait for after the close of trading today. Apple will release June quarter numbers then, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. Half an hour later, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, Apple execs and the analysts who analyze them will get on the phone and talk it all over. You can listen in live on Apple's site. It'll also be made available as a podcast a few hours later. And of course, we will recap it here tomorrow. Foxconn's big news was kind of a letdown. I told you yesterday that trading in shares of the company had been suspended on the Taiwan Stock Exchange pending some big announcement. Now a piece from Apple Insider says the big announcement was Foxconn taking a 10% stake in a company focused on building next-generation data centers. Kind of a letdown. Somebody at Apple has done something stupid. Remember how promotional accounts for Samsung used to occasionally get caught posting pictures or messages about how great their Samsung phone was from an iPhone? Yeah, this was kind of dumber. According to a piece from Apple Insider, an Apple support post on China's Weibo social media platform started out as promoting an iPhone feature, but then became an ad for Samsung AI. On Tuesday, the piece says, the official Apple support account on Weibo posted advice about parental controls on iPhone and embedded a video in it promoting the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7. Wasn't even about parental controls. It was about the treasure in the pocket, AI. The competitor promo was pulled down fairly soon after it went up. Apple Insider says it appears to have been up only long enough to garner 1 comment and 4 likes. Mistakes happen. Still kind of funny. News of a temporary closure for a fairly prominent Apple store. Mac Rumor says the shop in the Forum Shops at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas is closing for a few weeks in August. The location will be shutting its doors from the 9th of August through the 31st. The company lists no reason for the disruption, though Mac Rumor says the store will likely be undergoing renovations. It's one of the old aluminum jobs, still with the Genius Bar icon when I was there in 2019. 3 weeks seems like a short time for a full reno. Maybe it won't be that. Whatever the case, shoppers won't have to go far to get their Apple fix or get their Apple stuff fixed. The company suggests affected users head to Apple Fashion Show, which is also on the Strip. News to unnerve the slow horses viewer. The writer, executive producer, and showrunner behind the Apple TV Plus spy thriller is leaving the show after season 5. Deadline posted a long interview about the transition with Will Smith, the writer, not the rapper and part-time pugilist. According to Smith, Series 5, it doesn't end things by any means, but it concludes certain story arcs that started in Season 1, so it felt like a good moment to hand over the show. Gotta say, it would be funny if Season 5 did end things. Apple's renewed the show through at least Season 7. Meanwhile, Smith's nominated for Emmy Awards for Writing and Drama Series for Season 4. He won for Writing on Season 3, and he'll be Emmy eligible for Season 5, which he saw through to completion. The 5th season of Slow Horses starts its run on Apple TV Plus on Wednesday, the 24th of September. And finally today, there's a trailer out for the next Snoopy special. Apple TV Plus issued a press release Wednesday teasing Snoopy Presents a Summer Musical. It's a musical about summer, specifically summer camp. It's Sally's first year at summer camp, and she's not really into it. Charlie Brown and the rest of the Peanuts gang love the place and are shattered to find the campus set to close because fewer kids are going. So they do what folks always do in a musical. They put on a show. Of course, it helps to have talent. Broadway composers Alan Zachary and Michael Weiner bring one song to the show. Emmy-nominated composer Jeff Morrow brings another, while Ben Folds brings 3. It's kind of crazy, but it just might work. You can find out for yourself when Snoopy Presents a Summer Musical hits Apple TV Plus. It's set to premiere on Friday, the 15th of August. You can catch the trailer on YouTube. macOS Can, brought to you by me and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSCan. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can find me on Mastodon, macOSCan at mastodon.social. You can also send me an email, info@macoscan.com. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Leonard likes this post.